Alrighty, so let's load in our image and the tilemap. If you remember from the last tutorial, the tilemap is in the maps directory. And if you get no errors, then we should be good. If you go over to the network tab, you should see the mappy JSON file be requested. If not, and you get like this unexpected token in JSON at position 0 or something, it's usually a typo to where the file is, or you didn't clear your browser's cache, if you know what I mean. Alright, so let's go all the way down to the bottom of the create method and add the tilemap with the key of mappy that we just loaded in. And then we'll add the tilesets. The first argument is the tileset name in tiled, and the second is the key of the image that we loaded in. And again, the tileset names have to match. So for the item tileset, since we made it so that the key of the image and the key of the tileset are the same name, we don't have to pass in the extra parameter, so that's a shorthand that you might see often. Now we can create the display objects, so that is actually draw the tilemap layers. So we're going to call create static layers, and it takes in the layer name that has to match up in tiled, and the tilesets that we just created above. And we can have multiple tilesets per layer, but the top and bottom layers only use one tileset, so I'm only going to pass in one. So you may notice that everything's drawn on top of our characters, so we'll just set the depth of the bottom layer to -1 because our characters have a depth of 0 and they're kind of fighting over it. Okay, so let's move on to map collisions. So there are two ways to do collisions, by property and by index. So let's go over by property first. So we're going to say that every tile on the top layer that has a collides property set to true will be collidable. And whoops, I forgot to add a collider. So we'll just do that for the top layer because there's nothing on the bottom layer that has any collidable tiles. So far so good, but we can also set the collisions from a tile index. So we're going to grab the tile indexes that are collidable, and these numbers correspond to those pit tiles over there. If you don't know what a certain number of a tile is, you can open it up in a text editor, and it should be there. Alright, so that's pretty much it for collisions, but what about events? So we can call set tile collision callback, which will take the x and y in tile coordinates. So we're going to put it right there. And tiled shows us the coordinates on the bottom left if you're too lazy to count. And then how big we want the area in tiles, so 1 by 1. And then a callback, which we will just alert the sword calls to you. If we only want it to trigger once, we can call it recursively with the same arguments, except for the callback, we'll set it to null. And there's a documentation error, but everything works fine, so it's safe to ignore. Alright, so what about events by index? So we're going to make it so that when you step on lava tiles, we're going to log stop stepping on lava. And that's about it for collisions and triggering events. Moving on to the object layer, we can create sprites from the sword tiles, and you can use the ID for a specific sword. But we're going to target all the swords, so we're going to use the GID. and a sprite config, which takes the key of the texture of the sprite. So if you recall, we loaded the items tile set as an image, and we would need to convert that to a sprite sheet, and then we can specify the sword. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to make all the swords into cats. And then we're going to do a map for every sprite. We're going to set the scale to 2 and set interactive. So let's make it so every time we click on a cat, we destroy the sprite. And we'll just remove the one that's stuck there from the previous tutorials. And lastly, this is the most requested: to get custom properties out of a tile. We'll make it so that every time we click, we'll get the tile at the tile coordinates. So we need to convert our pixel coordinates to tile coordinates, and that's what the world to tile is for. And we're just going to log if the tile exists on a certain index. Alrighty, so a few bugs that adding a tile map introduces is that you may have noticed that we can't explore more of the map. So to fix this, we'll need to have the camera follow our player. And to expand the outer bound collisions to the map width and height. If you're curious where the collision boxes are, then you can call render debug with some properties, and voila. And lastly, our fire attacks are off, and that's because they don't take in the offset of the world. So all we need to do is just to change the pointer.x and y to world.x and y. And that's about it for this one. So see ya.